The New York Mets have finally turned their slow start around, and we are here to break it down today on Metcast. Okay, Mets fans, we finally come home from this West Coast trip where we took care of the Dodgers and kind of took a little bit of a beating from the Giants. The offense kind of slowed down those last few games, but we were able to take the last one from the Giants. Anyways, we're come back home to the East Coast, and we're going to be taking on the 4-11 St. Louis Cardinals. Currently, we're okay. We are a half game out of the wild card in the National League, and we're 4.5 games out of the division, which happened really quickly, unfortunately. But the bats were kind of cold. The pitching has been holding up, so we can't really complain about the pitching. The bullpen looks really good. Reed Garrett, of all people, been lights out, and Carlos Mendoza seems to be leaning on. Hopefully Lindor with this last 4 for 5 game, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. It's going to finally spark that bat. And the biggest news of the month is we get to see J.D Martinez finally make his debut in a Mets uniform. Finally give Pete Alonso the protection that he has deserved for, since I can remember. I know everybody's been crying about that for a really long time, but finally Pete Alonso is going to be getting that protection that he has deserved in this lineup. It's going to be an interesting weekend. We cannot afford to lose this series to the Cardinals if we want to keep pace in the National League. They have been god-awful as of lately. Their entire lineup is really struggling, including Arenado, Goldschmidt, you name it, they're struggling. I'm also looking, as the weather gets hotter, for Lindor to take that next step. And Met fans really forget this. Lindor is one of those players that frequently gets off to slow starts. Maybe not as slow as a start as this year, but he's always been a slow starter. I think as the weather continues to warm up, he'll do better. I expect Brandon Nimmo to really start hitting. And hopefully Brett Beatty can continue what he's been doing. He'll be pushed down in the lineup with the addition of Martinez. Hopefully get a little less pressure off of him. And I expect him to continue to progress. Maybe not hit 320, which he was last week, but can he be that 275, 280 type hitter that is clutch in certain situations for the Mets? I think so. And let's be honest, the first few games of the season, the first 25 plus games, Edwin Diaz looks like he hasn't lost a step. He had that dip in velocity briefly. Carlos Mendoza said he wasn't worried about, and he seemed to have bounced back. So let's see how this weekend series go, and we will check in once the series is over. This has been a Metcast recap. Let's go Mets.